Bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA Equality for All 111 on this Sunday, July 12th. Today I want to cover the Liberal government, the WE scandal. I've been asked, what's your thoughts on the WE scandal? Right over my head. I'm going to be sarcastic, like right over my head. Like that's how I comb my hair, man. I comb my hair, but all the BS of the conversations. You know why? Because nothing will happen to them. They are dipped in Teflon. Literally, they're dipped in Teflon. That entire system, the entire liberal system in our country, whether it's federal or provincial, doesn't matter which law enforcement, doesn't matter if they're federal law enforcement or provincial law enforcement, wherever they get anything, they're dipped in Teflon and nothing touches them. Nothing. What is it? Michelle Rempel Gardner. I was listening to her talk today. It's at Calgary, Nose Hill, Canada. So in Nose Hill, Calgary, Canada, you have an MP, member of parliament. Her name is Honorable Michelle Rempel Gardner. Let me spell that out. Michelle, Michelle Rempel, Rempel, Gardner, Garner. She's from Nose Hill, Calgary. Listen to her little speech that she does on Facebook. I was listening to one of them, and she was talking about the deficit. The Liberals in this country in 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, let's count this down. In 5 years, the Honorable Mr. Trudeau and his members of Parliament, prior to them coming into power, right up until they came into power, our entire history debt in this country was $617 billion. So imagine, that's from the cracking of the wood, to walking the swamps, to building the roads, to building infrastructure, building the schools, building everything, that's community center, the churches, everything from the history of Canada till 2015 when Mr. Harper got bumped it up because he was such a bad prime minister, and Mr. Trudeau with a nice hair came in. We were at $617 billion in debt. Before COVID-19, they amassed $343 billion. So think about it. The entire history of this country, we raised $617 billion in debt. They come into power, they add $343 billion. What the hell do you have to show for it? What do you have to show for it? Absolutely nothing. Just big lipstick is what you've done to this country. Now we have building burners, car burners, people on soapboxes with 2 microphones with zero knowledge, training, and experience. Law enforcement are supposed to be the criminals, and the criminals are now on soapboxes. And you've tarnished reputation of honorable, respectful careers in this country, and you've given the audience to criminals and thugs and people that murder. In the North America right now, how many murders have there been by these thugs that were given voices and microphones and standing up now? They're important. They're important in this country, not the law enforcement, not the respectable careers that we have. You know, and she brought out some good points. There's some very good conservatives in this country. Get them to Ottawa. Was it Nose Hill, Calgary? Get Michelle to Ottawa, because we need people like her. There's another one in Toronto. I've heard so much about her, but I don't know her name, but I will get information from her. But think about that. What the hell do we have to show for? Do you know they're going to go into $1 trillion? Honorable GuyPublicFigure brought that out. He asked a specific question to the parliamentary budget officers. Can we reach $1 trillion with a T? And they said, yes, in this fiscal, we can reach $1 trillion. Think about that for 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell do we have to show for it other than big fat lipstick? And we give money out of this country. We can't even take care of our veterans. We can't even take care of our poor nations. We have nations in this country that don't even have windows and doors. But hey, we're sending money out by the handful because somebody's got a cushy job down the road, right? They're gonna have their flowing hair through the wind. You know, it's a hard job to be a prime minister of this country and a minister in this country. All those members of parliament, those that are honorable and those that really work, it's a hard job. But some people don't understand money because they've never had to grind their way up. And that's what it comes down to, right? I wrote down these notes here, and I'm looking at them, and like just a credit. Could you imagine our country, Canada, G7, got our credit rating dropped, right? You guys heard that before COVID-19. We got our credit rating dropped. That means our interest rate we pay is higher. Now we're going to pay how much interest on $1 trillion? $1 trillion. For the love of our children and your children's children and children's children. Get these people out of parliament. What is are they passing around I don't want to be ignorant here, but does anybody not understand money? Does anybody not understand what they're doing to this country? You know, it's frustrating as all hell when you listen to the facts and when you listen to the data and when you put your ear to the ground and you realize they are burning the entire foundation and fabric and equity of this country. That's what they're doing. They're giving it away and they're burning it for their own agendas and votes. That's all they're doing it for. They're giving it to all the wrong people for the wrong reasons. That's exactly what they are doing. You know, like I told you earlier, I have these notes, and I don't even want to get into that. Like when I look at the homeless and the veterans and the poor nation in this country, $1 trillion debt, the amount of interest we're going to pay on that debt, we've been dropped in their credit rating. We put more, half of our entire country's history was $617 billion, and in 5 years they've added $343 billion to Justin Trudeau and his Cavaliers. But what do we have to show for it? What do we have to show for it? And now with COVID-19 and they got carte blanche, Parliament still, like literally, could you imagine? It's like you're worst money manager in the world, and you've just given them 10 more credit cards, 6 more lines of credits, and open bank accounts. But you're in debt, but you look good. Remember the Billy Crystal? You look marvelous. Look that up. You look marvelous. And that's exactly what they're doing to this country. It's all lipstick. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA111.